What's going on, Washington fans? Welcome to the JTFB channel. I am Josh Taylor, and joining me is my guy, Rio Robinson. You know who Rio is. If you know who I am, you sure as hell know who Rio is. So we're going live to talk about, this is Ravens week, and it's been a fun few days on social media with these practices, man. What's your just quick reaction thoughts to how this joint practices? Because it's been a while. Like, we haven't had this in a minute.
Hell yeah, man. And my first thought when I heard joint practice with such a well-run organization was, please make us proud and look like you belong, because I've watched the Patriots and the Texans come here and outclass us, outman us, outwork us. But these are Josh Harris's Washington Commanders. So I'm loving everything I've heard that we brought up there to Owings Mills, man. I'm excited. I'm ready for Monday, man. It's just preseason.
I know. I can't wait to be there. I wish I was there for these practices, but I'll be there at the preseason game. Rio's going to be there at the preseason game. And before we really jump into everything, guys, we are live on Twitter. I can't see your comments for Twitter, so if you want to jump in the chat, which is going to be jumping here in a second, come over to YouTube, blow this thing up, hit that like and subscribe button while you're here. We're going up right now. Content's crazy. We're just talking about like the channel for the team has been going crazy.
Yes.
And first off, we got to talk about how bad this broadcast was done by the Ravens team. I don't know what the hell I was watching. And the entire time, like, they're like, we paid Lamar. We're going to put this thing on Lamar for the entire practice. Like, I saw like 3 actual series from our first team offense in both days. I was like, what the heck are we watching, man? It was pretty rough. What was your thoughts? I know you were watching it over on YouTube.
Yeah, I was watching it from work, and everybody was. I was simultaneously scrolling the timeline while looking at it. Obviously, since it was a Ravens broadcast, it was very biased. I'm trying to figure out what was a worse broadcast: the Ravens training camp broadcast or Chick Hernandez and Brian Mitchell last week versus the Browns, because they sound like they were drunk in the booth last week.
I think Chick definitely was. Yeah, and the thing is, it's funny because like I have to watch on NFL Plus, so I'm watching all the home team game. I was watching the Browns, and it was the same thing for like half the game. They're talking about, oh yeah, Eric Bieniemy's comments about his players. They got a bunch of soft players over there. I was like, nah. I was like, I gotta turn this off, man. But yeah, Washington's wasn't much better. Appreciate you, Bradley. So jumping in, we'll just talk about practice first, and then we'll talk about the game. I think, in my honest opinion, like I just want to see how this offense ran with another defense. Like obviously Sam Howell's the one that everyone was looking for, Eric Bieniemy and all this stuff. And we didn't get to see a ton of it, but I still think we got to see enough of our wide receivers getting open, getting separation. Sam's got some highlights out there already. The team's putting it out. I'm putting some videos out and stuff from practice.
Sidearm.
I'm just saying, man. I'm telling y'all, Sam's nice with it. Like, who was it? Chris Sims said something about arm like, angles. Oh, yeah, his arm angles and his windups. That pass is beautiful, man. This is the same guy that said like Trevor Lawrence was like the 4th best quarterback in that class. He had like Trey Lance like number 1 or something stupid. I don't know.
Yo, Trey
I'm not believing these.
Trash, bro.
Trey Lance looks really bad.
Really bad.
I would much rather have Sam Howell right now than Trey Lance.
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild. That's what I'm saying. Like with Sam, I don't understand why teams draft quarterbacks that don't have experience. Anthony Richardson, Trey Lance. There's so many. You can go back so far. There's so many quarterbacks that don't have experience that are getting drafted in the first round off of like, well, I think we could do something with them. And then they want to throw them away after a year. That's what I liked about Sam. The dude had so much production in college. His last year was different, I know. But like for him falling to the 5th round, it makes no sense. Like I loved Herbert because of his experience. It's just so many guys. Like I don't understand it. I think he looks terrible. I think Sam Howell looks phenomenal right now. I will say, if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm terrified about their secondary. Dude, their corners are really bad.
Yeah, they're bad. And Terry McLaurin ran a comeback route that sent Marlon Humphrey's knees to the injury report.
He had to get surgery. That's rough, man. That's rough. That's rough. I love Marlon Humphrey. Y'all know I'm an Alabama guy. I love Marlo, one of the Alabama greats. But that was bad. And outside of him, like they have nothing right now. Like they have Arthur Mollett as their nickelback. I don't know who that is. Marlon's out, so Brandon Stevens is next up. I have no clue.
Is hurt too,
Rock
right?
Ya-Sin, yeah, and he's supposed to be the next starter at the left corner spot. Jalen Armour-Davis, another guy from Alabama, but he's super young. This is only his, I think it's his 2nd year. And then they have Caillou Kelly out of Stanford, a guy who stood out at the Senior Bowl. Like they have super young guys They have no secondary, which is like, I'm like, this is probably why the Ravens stayed away from that whole broadcasting side of things, because they didn't want to see our offense eat up that secondary that they had. But
Yeah.
outside,
That was my main nitpick with their broadcast. I understand you got the superstar
they said
$260 million
Odell, Zay,
quarterback.
Lamar.
Yeah, they wanted no parts of showing our offense versus their defense, bro, and I was sick of it.
Yeah, and honestly, like I think our offense looks good. There's a couple things offensive line once again worries me because their front four is really good. I like Patrick Queen in that linebacker spot. I like Odafe Away. I like David Ajabo. I'm glad he's healthy now. Like they got some studs up front. I don't know how much these guys are going to play Monday, but I mean after that Browns game, you want to see more of this offensive line, right?
Hell yeah, I need to see a lot more from this offensive line. And from what it sounds like, they did a pretty good job versus a really good Ravens team. The Ravens are one of the best drafting, well-run organizations in the league, passed down from Ozzie Newsome to Eric DeCosta. We knew what we were getting into. This is one of the name brand franchises of this league of the last 20 years or so. So for us to it's a new day in Washington. Imagine hearing the words disciplined. They outworked and outperformed a contending team coming from Washington going up the joint practices. What a time, man. What a time it is to be a fan.
And that's the thing. Like I have nothing against Baltimore. It's always been a top-notch team. Like you said, Ozzie Newsome. I love Ozzie. I think he's finally away from the team, like somewhat. But just a really well like respected team, not one of these like dirty teams out there. Like I pull for them. Like I know they're not like the Beltway team, like on the opposite side of us, but still, like I like them, man. Yeah, the secondary was busted, a lot of injuries, and our wide receivers looked good. But I mean, I think our wide receivers are gonna get fits, man. I said it. This might be a hot take. I think Jahan Dotson has the most production on this team this year.
I wouldn't be surprised by it. We have two number ones over here. It's Batman and Batman. There's no Robin on that duo.
Maybe Curtis.
Yeah, maybe Curtis slide in and get some production. But all I seen every time they put our wide receivers on camera versus their DBs was Jahan Terry or Curtis Samuel tearing them boys up wide open the entire time.
All right, and we'll be fair though. We'll go over to the other side. Like I said, when you got Odell, you got Zay Flowers, you got Lamar throwing them the ball. Mark Andrews, in my opinion, top 3, top 4 tight end in the league, right behind Kelsey and Kittle. I mean, they looked good too. Like there's a couple times where they're obviously going to get theirs. Like especially these reps. Same goes with us. A lot of these drills are very offensive, favorable. Like the offense is going to look better than the defense a majority of the time. It's like a 70-30 offensive kind of thing. So when you watch some of these drills, though, obviously Odell and our guy, our rookie defensive of the year of the future, I like what Forbes was showing against Odell. I think Odell looked great, by the way. I think he looks healthy finally. Love that for him. The game's better when he's healthy. But what do you think about Forbes going up against Odell?
I love it because don't let the injuries fool you. Odell is one of, hey, shout out to Will, my guy, by the way. Brother, what's good with you, man? Love you back. But Emmanuel Forbes, that is a great test because Odell is one of the most talented 5 guys I've ever seen play the wide receiver position. Like, don't let the ACL injuries make you forget who this guy was before them. This is one of the most explosive athletes and dominant receivers this game has seen. Forbes is going stride for stride with him. Of course, Odell is getting him on some of the routes. And if Lamar threw better balls a couple times, Odell easily probably scores or has a big gain on Forbes. And to be perfectly honest, Lamar's accuracy was a little all over the place while we were there. There was a lot of erratic looking throws. I'd say our quarterback had the better performance, man.
This is not saying that he's better than Lamar. Lamar's top 6, top 7 in the league. I love Lamar.
Superstar.
He looked pretty rough though. There was a lot of sailed passes and a lot of underthrown passes. I don't know what it was. Maybe they're still getting used to that connection, I guess, because Odell's new. Zay Flowers is new. Rashad Bateman has had his injuries. Like, he's still getting used to everything. Mark Andrews is still his bread and butter. And with Todd Monken coming over from Georgia, like, he's going to love Mark Andrews. What he did at Georgia with Darnell Washington, and I mean, just a plethora of tight ends over the last few years. Todd's going to have a lot of weapons to work with on that offense. Like, I think they can be really good. I don't know how much that defense is going to hurt them, but yeah, man, I was surprised about Lamar. It kind of surprised me. And this is something I want to talk about because I saw it today. And I said I'm not going to act surprised because I'm not surprised. Ron's not naming Sam the starter is like Ron sticking with Charles. And I don't know who that is. But like him coming out and saying like, yeah, I'm not naming Sam Howell starter yet. Like we're not ready to name a starting quarterback yet. Did that rub you the wrong way, or is it just like we're used to this, Ron?
Ron just never says the right thing at this point. Like at this point, they got to put a movie script out there for him to like. We know you don't have to even name him, even though it seemed like it's named the quarterback season with all these young guys.
Anthony Richardson already got it. He looked. Yeah, he was 50-50. Like
he looked
started rough, finished better. Yeah.
Yeah, but all
DJ Stroud
getting it.
Do you know who the starter is?
Exactly. We know he got all the reps in the spring. He got all the reps in the summer. He looked good, and he passed the flying colors, the joint practices, and the first preseason
Cowboys game. Like we're not even this year. Last year he passed
him the starter going into the game Monday, and let's be done with the conversation. The Airwolf is the guy. Sam Howell, QB1, is not even up for discussion. And if it is, Ron's on the juice, man. I don't know what to tell you.
But do you think that's important for Sam, or do you think it doesn't matter for Sam? Like Sam knows he's the quarterback one, but like, do you think Ron not saying, "Oh yeah, he's our starting quarterback," like he's it? Like, do you think that has any effect on him?
I don't think it has any effect on Sam because he even said it today. Like, I'm just worried about doing what's in front of me. I'm where my feet are. You know, that's the line of the offseason for Washington. But I don't think it affects Sam. Sam is a gamer. Sam is a baller. And Sam is about his work and putting in the prep to be our guy, to prove he could be a franchise quarterback. He's trying to ditch the tropes of a fifth-round quarterback where not a lot of success we've seen in the NFL came from that round. So I don't think he's worried about it. But let's call it what it is. Sam's going to have a C on his chest and be the starter in the next couple of weeks, man. Like, what are we doing?
You think he's going to be captain?
Yes, I think it's good. I've seen
worse. We got a lot of captain guys on this team, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 6, and we were talking about that in a group chat today. Who this like 5 or 6 captains were gonna be, and I think me and Jalen said on offense it's gonna be Sam Howell and Terry. On defense, it's going to be Cam Curl and Allen. In special teams, it's going to be Tressway and Reeves. And I was like, that's 6. That makes perfect sense because I'm not putting a C on Chase Young. He doesn't give me captain body language.
You about to open up a whole new game.
I love Chase Young, and I think he's going to ball this year. I'm not putting a C on his chest, though. He got to earn that.
I guess so. I mean, that's
I'm putting a C on Sam Howell's chest because he leads by example.
Yeah, I'd say he earns it just by the whole "let's roll these boys" comment he made after the Cowboys game. Yes. Like that alone's like, that's captain material. And I forgot who said it, but someone said like a lot of these players and like Terry hasn't endorsed Sam yet. I don't agree with that. I think a lot of the wide receivers and even the guys on defense have endorsed him a lot more than other players in the past. You know, rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins and all. But like even back to these other quarterbacks we've had last few years, I don't remember someone coming out and being like, "Oh yeah, Carson Wentz is the guy." I'm really excited what Carson's going to do.
Carson got a C on his chest. Sam getting a C on it. Hey, mark my words. Maybe wrong. Sam gonna have a C on his damn jersey when we get to September 10th and Arizona's coming to town, man. Book it. Don't put it on Leno. Put it on Sam Howell, bro.
I want to agree with you on that one, but we'll see. What was, first off, we didn't really talk about this either. The fights at the practice. We had 2 on day 1, and then we had 1 today. It literally took 10 minutes for the fight to break out today. And I forgot who it was afterwards. Oh yeah, Cole Turner was like, "Yeah, it's getting hot. A lot of us are getting like angry and stuff." I'm like, Cole, it was 10 minutes into practice. Ain't nobody out there hot after 10 minutes. Y'all were doing punt return practices. Ain't nobody getting hot out here. I'm like, I don't know. It was a little chippy. And then Mark Andrews with a little body slam. Who was it? Danny Johnson. Who did he body slam?
Danny Johnson. Like,
yeah,
what are
Danny Johnson,
bro? For real, Mark Andrews.
In my opinion, I thought it was dirty. I like Forbes coming back, throwing the punch. Who was that? Duvernay that threw a punch?
Tylan Wallace.
Oh yeah, Tylan Wallace. 5
career catches. Yeah, Forbes has on more chains than you have catches in the NFL. Like, stop it, bro.
Forbes do got some jewelry on him.
That boy jewelry drip crazy.
He's like a quieter Sauce Gardner.
He is.
He still has that aura to him.
He does.
He's not going to be streaming on Call of Duty. He's not going to be doing all these commercials and stuff.
He's just gonna buy jewelry.
Forbes is just gonna show up. He's gonna lock you down. Then he always has that DC hat on. I love that thing, dude. I think Forbes. Are you comfortable saying that Forbes is corner one right now? Like, do you think he's overtaken Kendall Fuller as that corner one?
He's easily the best corner on the roster. And this was a person who I threw a whole tantrum on draft day because I wanted Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, both of us did, definitely.
I like to say, word to Shaquille O'Neal. I was not familiar with you. No, I was familiar. I was familiar with his game. I just liked Christian Gonzalez better. But I'm becoming more of a Forbes believer every day that I've seen him. And he's probably the best corner that's come in Ashburn in a very long time.
Dude, this might be a little too early, but the dude just radiates like Champ Bailey vibes. Like, once again, Champ Bailey wasn't like some loud, obnoxious. Like, he wasn't like Darrelle Revis had these flashes where he was, but Champ Bailey wasn't like, he was just a baller, dude. He was just a lockdown corner. Shout out to Earl. Yo, Holmes has looked good these last few days too. If he's beating coverage, he's coming at you and he's popping the ball out late. Like, the guy is not afraid to hit. Even in that Browns game, Christian Holmes was all over the field. I was super impressed. But I'll have to say, in my opinion, the highlight of these last two practices is how much Jonathan Allen and Deron Payton had just straight up abused the entire state of Maryland.
They're so
and
dominant,
those reps,
bro. They just lived in the backfield and just create havoc as soon as the ball is snapped. It gave me chills.
If you had to predict today who finishes with the most sacks this season, who you saying?
On the Commanders?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going out on a limb here. I'm trying to manifest it.
You're going to say Chase?
Chase Young.
Come on, bro.
I think my heart is saying this. My head says Montez Sweat because I know Montez Sweat's going to somehow be in double digits this year because it's a contract year. But I'm trying to manifest this for all of Washington and how incredible this team will be if Chase Young finally lives out to a little bit of the potential he came into the league as. My bold prediction for the year was Chase Young. I think I said something like 14 and a half or 16 and a half sacks. So I'm going with Chase Young. I'm smacking the gavel. Chase Young will lead the Washington Commanders in 2023. Realistically, it probably is not going to happen, but I'm going with it.
Dude, I don't know, though. He once again, he looks good. He did a lot of work this offseason. He's actually going inside. He realized he can go inside on plays now.
He's using his hands.
Yeah, I think this is the best he's looked since his rookie year. Dude, I don't know. If we're doing a lot of this 5-line formations that, like, we've been doing a lot of it in practice, and Ron said, and Jack Del Rio said, we're going to do a lot of 5-2. You better start praying for some quarterbacks in this league, man. I don't know if Fedarian Mathis is going to be in the middle or if it's going to be Ridgeway, but regardless, whoever's in that middle, all 5 of those guys on the line at the same time, dude, I think this is a defense that can finish with probably – dude, I could see 3 people being on over 10 sacks on the line.
Philly did it last year. Why not us?
Oh, dude, I don't disagree with you. Maybe the linebacker core, but
Philly had 4 guys with over 11 sacks last year. They had like 70 team sacks. That's absurd. And then they add Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter to that.
That's stupid.
That's mind blowing.
I know you be checking in with your boys on the NFC Roundtable. Love that show. It's always cracking me up. What's the outlook from those guys on how Washington looks right now?
I wish I would have really got to it because it got a little too testy last night. It got too personal, and I had to cut the stream short before guys started saying things they didn't really want to say on the internet. And I have too much respect for those guys to let it get to that. But Capizzo thinks the Giants are the sleeping giant in the NFC East, and he thinks it's between him and Dallas to win the division because nobody repeats in the NFC East. But I think Philly's built to repeat.
Oh, yeah. They built to last for a while. Like, yeah. I'm terrified of Philly. Obviously, I think people should realize like how good Philly is.
They're the best roster in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. Top to bottom. Absolutely. This is not some one and done kind of year. They didn't like go all in and just pay a bunch of dudes a bunch of stupid money and then have to like start over the next year. Like, they built it smart. Like, shout out to Philly because that's what we're trying to beat towards. But I don't know, man. I'm not saying we're going to win the division, but I think we make the playoffs. I think we can get three NFC teams in the playoffs again.
Bro, we're winning 11 games this year, bro. And I mean it, bro. I mean it. Everything's aligning for us, bro. Everything is aligning for us. The vibes feel so
Everything is
different.
aligning for us except Philly. It's just that good.
For Philly, you know what I'm saying? We can still win 11 games, though. Like, they can do their little 13-14 win thing, and we be at 11.
We just gotta sleep Dallas and New York.
Didn't Dallas do it? Because Dallas can always take a step back.
Bruce is confident. He thinks we can win the division. I don't think so. Yeah, that'd be nice, but I don't see it happening. 11 games or more. Bradley said Howie Roseman's literally the Suge Knight of the NFL.
He definitely is. I don't know. He knows where all the bodies are buried.
Then you just randomly remember, oh yeah, they got DeAndre Swift, by the way, too. Like,
and he looks great in number 0. He
makes
looks
no
awesome.
sense. 2 seasons ago, Washington ended the Steelers streak. Last season, they ended the Eagles streak. Absolutely. For some reason, Washington's just good at beating the teams we're not supposed to beat. We should have beat the Chiefs. Oh my God, I should have beat the Chiefs. Like, we had them in the first half. That was probably the best I've ever seen this team play, was the first half against the Chiefs. And then Mahomes comes out and does his like little, and you see it all the time. Like, he rolls out 20 yards, chucks it down.
Seeing that in person, I was like, my jaw was on the floor, bro. I was like, wow, he's special. He's special. Vince McMahon voice.
We got a little teeny Mahomes at our quarterback now. He's growing into it. So obviously this game coming up Monday night. A lot of people have been asking me, how much do you think the starters are going to actually play in this game? Do you think they get about the same as the Browns game? What was it, a quarter and some change? Do you think some people say like do a whole half?
Yes. That's me. That offense, the defense don't need a half. I don't need to see them for a half. And Chase Young Chase Young and his self-diagnosed stinger, like I'll see him week 1. I don't really care. I seen enough explosion when he got 2 watts, and I'm need him to take him down in a regular season game. But the offense needs to play the entire first half. This is the dress rehearsal, because now that there's only 3 preseason games, number 2 is your dress rehearsal. Give me 2 quarters of Sam Howell and company.
Yeah, obviously we'll be there, so I want them to play the whole first half. But it's your first game at home. Maybe it means something. Maybe it doesn't. You want to look good. How did Sam look against the Ravens D? I thought he looked great. Sure. Yeah. I once again, their DBs are really bad though, so I really don't know how much.
Words to Marlon Humphrey. He said Sam Howell looks very comfortable out there.
When your DB gets hurt, and he still has the time after practice to come up to you all and talk and say, like, yeah, like, shout out to Sam. He looks great.
Yes, sir.
It's really mostly all the defense to carry this team. Our offense is new and unproven, but it's hard to think that EB can't scheme up a much improved unit. Oh, absolutely. And I've been saying this, like, the blueprint for Washington this season is going to be that Eagles game last year. And we said it on the last video when we went live. Really good defense, get turnovers, get takeaways, get some sacks, and pound the ball in offense, control the clock, run people over, wear them out, and then just let Sam Howell run.
I hear y'all on that pound the rock stuff, but
dude, I'm telling you, B-Rob, man.
Sam got he coming to the fight with a gun. He's coming to the fight with a howitzer and not a water gun like the guy who beat the Eagles last year. The plan is a little different. We're diverting from that plan a little bit. We're gonna EB about to air that thing out.
It's going to be a lot of quick passing concepts, though. Yep. It's going to be like short stuff. It's going to be a lot of RPO from the shotgun. Like, he's going to play to Sam Howell's strength. It's going to be a lot of quick passes. And then he's going to pull that thing out, and he's going to hit Terry deep like he did against the Cowboys. Starters play at least 1 quarter, hopefully a half. Yeah, I would love to see a whole half, honestly. I have a feeling AG is going to have a breakout season. That boy, trunk ball, corner.
Ran that boy over. Yes.
Killed him. I mean, and I did a little video on it saying he could have like a Jerick McKinnon type role, where Jerick McKinnon had 9 receiving touchdowns last year at running back for the Chiefs. Travis Kelce had 12. Jerick McKinnon had 9. He was second on the team in receiving touchdowns. That's wild. People are like, oh, it's Mahomes. I promise you it wasn't. Like, it was play design. It was short stuff. Like, yeah, Mahomes is the best probably ever. But Eric Bieniemy's play design and scheme is ridiculous for running backs. Like, Cole Turner and Antonio Gibson are the 2 guys that are like, thank you, Jesus, for giving me Eric Bieniemy. Lamar not playing, so we should get right. And I don't think what's his name's playing either. Snoop
Odell.
Huntley.
Oh, Huntley's not
Yeah,
playing.
I don't think he's gonna play. He didn't practice
So
today.
we're just gonna have to watch Josh Johnson for 4 quarters.
And Anthony, who's it? Anthony Johnson, Jr. out of I think Oregon from like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yep.
He works out with Malik and them. Malik Willis. Offense definitely needs a half, especially the offensive line. Yes. From what the broadcast was saying today, their defensive line and edge rusher should be starting on Monday. So once again, Odafe away, shout out to Penn State, and David Ajabo, who's getting his first full season because he tore his ACL at Pro Day last year. Those are two really good edge rushers. Like, those are fast guys. And I'm telling you, man, like, Rio, when I went and rewatched that Browns game, I did the video on Cosmi. Dude, Wiley was getting toasted on the outside. When it came back inside, he was fine. He was able to reset. But every time something went to that outside shoulder, he was getting cooked. Like, and I know, like, if you go back to the Chiefs last season, the first half of the season, he was bad. But that second half, he was so good. I'm hoping that happens, but, like, are you hitting the panic button on – I would say we've been hitting the panic button on Leno, but are you panicking at all on Wiley before the season starts? This was supposed to be our big signing.
We've seen players have bad preseasons and look good when the season starts. I'm not comparing Wiley to the caliber of player, but I remember seeing Jamar Chase, who could not catch a cold in the preseason, and come out and look like the best wide receiver prospect since Odell. So some guys, you know, he may not be giving it his full win yet. Shout out to my guy George, GB Trap, my guy George. What's going on, man? But I'm not gonna hit the panic button on Wiley, but the offensive line collectively, please do better. But they did look better than the first glance and initial reaction of the Cleveland game. It was really just Wiley being terrible, but I think he had a back week versus the Ravens in practice this week too. He's held his own. Let's see if it carries over to Monday, because Baltimore actually tries to win preseason games, so this should be a good test.
Oh, we're talking about that damn streak. Like, we're hitting it, because that's been a hot topic on Twitter too. We're definitely hitting. We're going to talk about that damn streak. Both sides need the whole half. Defense did look good on the first drive, except for the goal line. We do not use the preseason right because we don't play starters enough. I did not like how the run defense looked to start the game. I don't know if it was like jitters, if it was just early. It's Deshaun Watson. I've seen Deshaun Watson tear up my Alabama team in the years past, like when he was at Clemson. Deshaun Watson, he liked that, but still, man, I don't know.
He had a little massage oil on him, man.
He's slick. He's slick. Slick Rick Watson.
Fresh off the table.
Shout out to G. Reese. I live in Austin, so shout out to Texas. So I'll make it to the games when we play Dallas. I'll be at that game Thanksgiving. I already told my mama, I said, you can bring me a plate, but I'm going to be in Dallas. You're not going to see me this year.
Josh.
I thought we'd get the
Jerry
first
World
team.
with a big drumstick in his hand.
Bro, I've never been to Jerry's World. They're absolutely going to hate me.
I heard great things, though.
I'm trying to think about last year. What was the last preseason game? Was it the Panthers? Because I remember I went to the Panthers game.
The last preseason game was the Ravens game last year.
Ravens.
Nobody played.
But Howell started that game, remember?
Howell played the whole game.
Yeah. So
we didn't play the first or the second. So the third game, the third game is make the roster day. Nobody played.
Yeah.
First 4 seconds.
Starters were no. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Rio on this. Like, this is where you get your starters out there. And then what you don't like in this game, you correct for the next few weeks. And then I don't think we'll see many starters at all. Like you said, this is the roster bubble, guys. What's up? Appreciate y'all stopping by. My guy Range. What's going on, Teach? We worried if Logan Thomas isn't healthy by week 1. I am, because he hasn't practiced in a while.
Cole Turner season, baby.
Cole Turner, he's been getting first team reps. He got first team reps today.
I like how active Sam was with getting him the ball early versus Cleveland. I was just sitting back thinking, bro, that Jahan Dotson trade, we're watching all of it in front of our eyes. We're watching the quarterback, the running back, a tight end, and a receiver. Our whole young core is coming. I'm watching Cole Turner. What do you have, 4 catches?
4 catches, 31 yards. Yep.
We love to see it. Tight end,
that
1
fourth
goal.
Down conversion.
Yes,
that's the guy.
Yeah, that's the one.
I will say, like, his routes, if you go back, I did a video of all his catches. He does kind of like tippy-toe through his routes. He's kind of like soft foot. He's like, all right, let me see where I'm going. He's kind of like thinking about it still. And it usually takes about 2 or 3 years for tight ends to actually break out in the NFL.
He's very stiff in his route running.
I just want that boy to plant his feet and just get in them routes, just up, cut, up, like get to it. He's like, all right, I'm open. All right, got it. Like eventually he's gonna get to the point where he's running good routes. He's breaking these tackles like you saw in Nevada. Like he's going up and getting these crazy catches. I think he's getting there. Like this is good because he was too worried about Heineke last year throwing all his concussion passes. He didn't have time to really develop. I think Sam is going to be the in the end. We'll just talk about the NFC because obviously the AFC is unfair. We're not going to put Sam Howell in the AFC pool. In the NFC, I'd say he's a top
6.
I was going to say 7. Quarterback. I think he's a top 7 quarterback in the NFC this season. I think Geno's better than him. Obviously Hurts. Kurt.
Put the C on his chest. He's going to be a top 5 NFC quarterback by the end of this year, bro. You heard it here first. Sam Howell.
Straight production or what?
This year, he's going to be a top 5 NFC quarterback production-wise.
I'm not mad at it. You can air it out.
Baller, bro.
Our defense sucks against running quarterbacks. Jack has to fix that with the spy. Yeah, which is what's going to suck is that when you have only 2 linebackers on the field at a time.
Well, Jamin's not good, bro. We got to have that conversation at some point, bro.
I don't know. I'm a Jamin guy, man, so I don't know. I want
to be a Jamin guy. I don't see it. 3 years in, I don't see first-round potential out of this dude, man.
I don't know. He trains down here, so I'm a little biased. He trains in Austin. And he's always been good to me, like whenever I talk to him and stuff.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. I can't go against my guys, man. Like Mason Brooks, that's one of my boys. Mitch Tinsley, that's my guy. Mitch Tinsley, in my opinion, looked like Calvin Johnson in training camp. Hey. I just can't go against my guys. I think he's poised for a big season. I think what's going to help him the most is not getting talked about. Cody Barton hasn't looked half bad.
Cody Barton looks like the best linebacker on the roster, which isn't saying much, but he looks the part, man. I like him.
I'm just saying, if
I had him to respond faster to the fight, though, like I need him to get in there quicker and throwing blows because he seemed like he was thinking about it like double dutch, like he didn't know if he wanted to jump in or not.
I think he saw Dron Payne in there. He said, "I ain't got to do nothing."
Cam Curl sprinted to that action.
Oh yeah, Cam was the second one there. After Forbes, Cam was right there with them. But I'm telling you, man, would you rather have David Mayo or Cole Holcomb next to you, or would you rather have Cody Barton from what we've seen out of Barton so far?
The question is, do we want Jamin next to Cody Barton? Because
Barton looks like the guy I think this is going to help him out. Yeah. I think he's not like, I got David Mayo over there. I got to worry about what's coming across the other side of the field because I got Mayo on the field. I think this helps him out a lot, man. I think he's quick. He's athletic. We know what he can do. I don't know. I think it's going to be a big season for him. Jamin's developing and starting to play faster, but Rio's kind of hitting on him not being a first-round talent. And I guess it is the whole we took him in the first round thing, and you can always do that. I mean, you can do that with so many players. I know this is the one thing that kills me. We passed on Christian Darrisaw, who's one of the top tackles in the NFC. Absolute steal for the Vikings. I think they traded up to get him too. But who y'all think will lead the team in rushing and receiving touchdowns? I think Brian Robinson. I'm gonna put out a graphic tomorrow because I don't think we have practice. We don't have practice tomorrow, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Back Friday, Saturday.
Saturday. Saturday's the final day for fans coming.
Damn, I'm gonna be there Friday. I'm flying tomorrow back to Ashburn, y'all. I fucking love practice. Excuse my friend. I love practice.
Are you going Saturday?
Friday, Saturday. I'm in there.
Oh, because Lake Lewis is having an event somewhere in Herndon after practice, and we should all go fade that, man.
Bro, absolutely. I was supposed to go out on a boat, but I'm gonna tell them I'm not gonna make it. I will. Y'all can save that boat trip. I'm going out there with Lake and you, dude. Absolutely. But like, dude, I honestly think I'm gonna put a little graphic out tomorrow. The line, I don't know the exact amount for Brian Robinson. It's like 700 and something yards.
Over.
Dude, he almost had. Dude, I think he had that last year, didn't he?
He had over 700. I think he had like 737 yards.
I think the line is like 750 or 760, something stupid. Dude, I think. Oh, I got it right here coming up. I think
it ain't Fred Smoot's boat, is it?
No, it ain't.
You want to know a funny story about Fred Smoot's boat? I saw Fred up Georgetown on a boat on Saturday after all that. He's doing this
out.
fine, by the way.
He's out. Shout out to Fred, man.
Free smooth.
So, I mean, you can't see it. It says Brian Robinson Jr. rushing yards on FanDuel, 725. The over is minus 112 odds. I'm taking that all day long. You can get it at like 735 rush yards on the season, close to even odds. I'm taking that all day long. I think Brian Robinson's going to kill some folk this year. My boy built like a G.I. Joe action figure this season, dude. He is cut. He ain't got an ounce of fat on him, dude.
Lean. That boy lean, pure muscle, grass-fed. That boy is ready to get out there and get it this year. I predict
you can tell he's an Alabama boy.
1,150 yards, man. I think he's gonna ball out, man.
Does Jonathan Williams make the roster?
No,
I don't know. This team loves him though.
I think EB like has an infatuation for Chris Rodriguez, and I think they're just gonna keep 3 running back.
Chris Rodriguez is nice though. He had a good first game. Like I saw some burst stuff out of him. I think he looked nice.
Young guys.
Better than having John Boss. Oh, yo, bro. What was it? The NFL Top 100? They just kept showing that replay over and over and over. My boy was touching the earth every single time he was on the field. I'm like, yo, why we got John Boss again? I could not believe when we signed him late like we did, man. I will go back to this one. Will Mitch Tinsley make the roster? He absolutely deserves to. I don't know how many wide receivers we're keeping. 6 or 7? 7's a lot.
Give me your 6. Give me your 6. I want to see if
6.
I want to see if we have the same 6.
Terry, Jahan, Curtis, Bieniemy, Pringle.
2.
I think Pringle's a lock at.
I think he's locked number 5.
Oh yeah, he's lock at 5. Pringle's absolutely a lock. Yep. Man.
Say it. 6. You already know who's making that last spot. You already know.
I'm not saying Dax Milne.
You already know who's getting it.
I refuse to say Dax.
You already know Dax gonna make this roster long as Ron is the coach.
Casimir Allen, 6. Like it just has to be a return guy, dude.
Let it be Casimir.
We're not putting Jahan Dotson back there on punt returns throughout the season, bro.
So we keeping 7 or 6?
I mean, in a perfect world, like we're keeping 6 because Antonio Gibson's going to have a huge receiving role.
Yep.
I just don't see a way we keep 7. But damn, man, I want to keep Mitch, man.
I love him. Are the same, but
Mitch has been getting special teams reps.
Except I think Ron's going to keep Dax Milne because Ron doesn't do things that make sense, and Ron he's loyal.
Dax Milne is the next Apke. We're going to be like 8 years from now. We're like, why the hell is he still on this team, bro?
Dax Milne and Troy Apke are the poster children for what Ron's mediocre coaching career has been in this league, bro. They perfectly represent 7-win Ronald Eugene Rivera. So Dax Milne has to make this roster.
Dude, but be honest, out of Dax Milne, Casimir Allen, who else is threatening for it? Obviously Mitch and
Kemp
and Marcus Kemp. Who is the best actual wide receiver though? Like on the field, like,
Tinsley.
By a lot, dude.
Yes,
dude had 1,400 yards in the season before he was with Penn State at Western.
He looks really good. He's like the only like receiver outside of the top 5.
Casimir, that route he ran today, beautiful route, drops a wide open catch across the middle. He can't catch.
He just can punt return.
No,
so if he's here, he's Brandon Banks.
Literally. I mean, even Steven Sims could catch. Dax Milne better not catch it. I get it. Some people say 7. I just don't see it with Antonio Gibson having more of a receiving role.
Tinsley is the guy that they're going to have a real hard time like making that decision because he actually looks like if like a Bieniemy gets hurt, like he could see the field.
Dude, I've been talking to his agent, Lindsey Crook. He's been DMing me, just asking how he's doing. He just said the same thing. Like, it's just a really deep wide receiver room. Like, obviously, like he wants him to maybe if worst case, he's going to be practice squad. But I mean, once Eric Bieniemy brings over Pringle, I feel like that was really like the nail that kind of pushed that last guy out. Right. I don't think Kip makes the team. Like, even though he is a former Kansas City guy, I don't think Kip makes the team. But damn, dude, I mean, I don't know. Dax Milne had that one-handed catch. What was it, yesterday?
Yeah, man.
He thought he was sweet. He gonna put that on his Instagram story. Like, Ron, you see my story?
I feel like I know Ron at this point, and Ron ass gonna keep Dax Milne on that roster.
I don't know. He's had some flashes in camp, but how many can't buys have we had over the years that just straight dropped the ball in the end game? When this guy is stepping out of bounds, I said it with his size 6 Skechers light up shoes on a kick return, steps out of bounds, bro. Right when he catches it, how do you do that?
Yeah, man, like that's.
And then Casimir's returning kicks all game long. Looks great. Like that's the only thing that's like sucks is like maybe he does make the team because he actually is like the only guy that can return kicks for us.
We're just gonna have to accept the continued bare minimum of catching the punt because that's what Dax Milne's gonna do, and he actually is not a bad receiver. So I've already come to terms with Dax Milne being the 6th receiver on this roster.
Just fair catch every single one.
If someone who has a better chance of getting poached off our practice squad, Tinsley or Casimir Allen?
Oh, Tinsley, right?
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people like need that depth at like actual like possession receiver type. Someone said he looks like Anquan Boldin. Yo, I'm not. Once again, I know he's my guy, but he plays just like him.
He's
like
good, bro.
That catch against the Browns where he went up and got it, that was very Anquan Bolden-esque.
His number sucks right now because he's
86.
a bubble guy, but he's good. He looks good.
Yeah, and he's a really good. He honestly admits he fits the mold of like the Terry Jahan Dotson, just very professional, very like date my daughter please esque of like of a player. How many running backs make the team? 3 active and then 1 practice squatter.
Yep, and the practice squad are going to be Jonathan Williams.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. I hate to say it. JP, though, Jared Patterson.
Our guy.
Yeah, it ain't looking too good for him. If this team's able to take away the Ravens streak, that will boost the team. Let's do it. Let's talk about the streak. Rio, does the streak matter? Because it matters to everyone but Ravens fans, apparently.
Yes, it matters, bro. Like I want to win this game. Like just like last week, I've never wanted to win a preseason game before last week. I wanted it for Josh Harris. Mm-hmm. I wanted it for all the new feeling, new excitement that we have right now as Washington fans, bro. Like it feels like we have an expansion team. We got our team back for the first time. It's the first year free of Dan Snyder. Who better than us to end this stupid Baltimore Ravens win streak that should never exist because winning in preseason is so pointless. I want it, bro. I want it, and I want Sam Howell and the starters to set the tone for the victory. I don't want it to be the Jake Fromm show that wins the game.
I'll say, like, people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm like, it does matter because – like, if you think losing is okay, I don't care if it's practice. I don't care if it's Madden. You're not competitive enough, or you haven't played any kind of sport. If you think like, oh, it's okay, man, we can lose this. We don't care. Or they're like, oh, we're not trying in practice. This practice doesn't mean anything to them. This is like y'all Super Bowl. Like, no, we just trying to win. Like, I'll take any kind of win possible, man. I just want to see this team play good. Yes, I would love to go ahead and break that streak because people talk about it every single preseason, and then we don't talk about it again until preseason comes back again.
Right.
And I would just love to have him be like, yep, Washington ended the streak. It's a feather in your cap, man. I don't care what it is. Let's go over here to Will real quick.
One more thing, though. Another note. This is the first time the world gets to see the Eric Bieniemy, Sam Howell, Washington Commander. This is on ESPN, nationally televised. So let's let the world see that we're actually something to be taken seriously because I can see the narrative starting to shift and I can see the national media pundits starting to, oh, this Sam Howell kid's here. Hey, he can sling it. Hey, he's good. Oh, my God, he's actually good at football. You see the turn coming.
We've already had Mina Kimes has been talking good about Sam. Obviously, my girl Kay's been talking good. Dan Orlovsky's he's been like, all right, this Sam guy's nice. People are starting to realize like Sam's no joke.
Chris, Sam, everybody.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Sullivan. He's good. I love his videos, man. I learned so much watching that quarterback school.
Man.
How does Mitch T compare to Milne? Mitch T is way bigger. He has better hands. He's more athletic.
Better route runner.
Oh, absolutely. And Milne is just small. Maybe he's faster. That's it. He does nothing that excites me. There's not one thing that Dax Milne does where I'm like, wow, that was great. Ooh, this is a good one. Over under 2 defensive touchdowns this season.
That's for the season?
It's got to be.
Over. Forbes is going to have 2 pick sixes this year.
Chase is going to have a strip sack return like he did against the 49ers at one time.
Yep, 17 sack Chase Young.
I mean... Look, man. I pray to God it happens. I mean, even Fuller had a pick six last year. Did he have two?
Who?
Fuller. He had the one against the Texans.
Yeah, he had two. He had one against Dak on the play where he dropped it the play before.
Yeah, then he came back at it. Yeah, Fuller.
He dropped like 10 picks because Fuller don't get going until after Halloween. Like Fuller suffers from football seasonal depression. He don't get going until it get cold out. I need to see him good in week 1 this year.
Yeah, that's one thing is we start super slow. I don't want to see what happened last year, man. I remember being at that Eagles game. I was like, this is the last time I'm coming here, man.
And me and Jalen was just walking around the stadium pondering why we decided to be season ticket holders, bro. We were like, yo, why do we choose this life, bro?
This is the year, though, man. The Jaguars game had me feeling like we were winning the Super Bowl.
Bro, it was a parade inside the stadium for
Literally.
real.
I was right in front of Jahan when he caught that crazy. I was like, bro, but not gonna lie, I kind of do not like this newfound national coverage we've been getting so far. I love it. Eat it up, man, because that national coverage before was nothing but Dan Snyder being inappropriate and all this other mess. Like there was nothing ever good said about us. Like we finally have a positive. Like they done messed up the Sean Taylor retirement jersey ceremony, or they did something stupid again. Like that's all we've ever been known for in the national media.
Back the name.
Yeah, like tell me. Oh, by the way, we'll talk about that too. We signed a deal or whatever with Verizon.
Hey.
So finally we can send texts and videos at the game.
Wi-Fi will be hitting.
I better have 5G when I walk through the door. I got Verizon. But if you wanted any kind of evidence that the name's not going back to Redskins, that's it.
Yep.
Our new stadium is going to be the Verizon Dome over in Prince George or wherever they're going to put it at.
DC.
Or RFK. It's going to be the Verizon
Superdome at RFK Stadium.
The Verizon 5G Dome. And there's no way in the world we could change our name back at Verizon and be like, yeah, it's okay. I don't care who the owner is. I don't care if Jesus Christ is the only sole owner of the team. There is not a single company or brand or any kind of deal that's getting done with our name going back to it. Who was it said, do we get a discount? Oh, yeah, Cam Curl's dad said, do we get a discount?
And they said with this deal with Verizon, they're going to be a part of a lot of the millions of improvements that Josh Harris is implementing at FedEx
millions
Field.
and
millions, like on the new Jumbotron. You know what's crazy? We're leaving this stadium, and Josh Harris still wants to get it nice because he said hosting a game is like hosting company. You're not going to host company in a messed up house. Dan didn't get that for 24 years, bro.
That's that rich money. That's like, we're going to tear down this house in 3 years.
We're going to make it nice first.
I'm going to put a theater in the basement.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a pool in the backyard. We leaving in 5, but we're gonna live in luxury till we go.
Do we think Sam Howell plays all 17 games? I think he plays 19 because we making the playoffs, baby.
I think he plays 16 because we start Brissett in week 18 because we're resting our starters.
I've been worried for a second.
We already have 11 wins, baby.
Like I say, because Ron's intrusive thoughts are going to take over.
No, 11 wins going into week 18, and we resting starters versus Dallas. Could you imagine?
Dude, that's the best feeling. Showing up to FedEx Field watching second stringers because you're about to host a playoff.
We're about to go into the stadium feeling real chest poked out. Like, I'm sorry, you fans of the other team, we're not the same. I'm sorry, we're different.
Get out of our stadium. First 6 games: Cardinals win, Broncos win, Bills lost, Eagles lost, Bears win, Falcons win. We're going 4-2. I agree. I think we lose Bills and Eagles. Bears ain't beating us. Falcons ain't beating us. Broncos ain't beating us. Russell Wilson is not beating us.
We're gonna like on some stupid Washington stuff. We're gonna lose to Denver and beat either the Bills or the Eagles. I think we get the Eagles at home, so I don't think that's the Eagles game we win. We're gonna mess around and beat the Bills and lose to the Broncos. We're Washington. There's gonna be some Washington stuff happen. We're gonna lose to one of these teams like the Bears, the Falcons. Oh my God, I would be sick if we lost and Heineke was starting for the Falcons. I would lose my mind.
No, he's not. Unless something happens to Ritter.
I would turn in the season, bro.
Dude, first off, I don't know if I want to go to that game. I think it's in Atlanta. But I already know Washington fans are going to be chanting his name. We should sack Russ at
Oh,
least
George,
5 times.
they already said it's going to be a dome. They're trying to host the World Cup, Super Bowl, and lots of events. It's 100.
Oh yeah, bro.
Dome.
Yeah, it's about to have the World Cup. The Olympics is gonna be at FedEx.
Festivals. They're gonna be hosting world events. It 100, and I would. Every new stadium should have at least a retractable roof on it because elements should never affect paying customers for the sport of football. Football is king in this country. Don't rain on me.
I need Josh Harris to get the parking lot fixed too. That concrete jungle's rough, man.
Terrible.
We need something outside. Like the only food you get is at like the little food trucks that pull up and some tailgates and stuff. We need some kind of night scene outside the stadium. Like I'm trying to not go home after the game.
Yeah, man. Turn up.
Who was crying to Ron about EB? We already said last week, Dax probably.
We was theory. I have there's lots of theories on this, but it was probably somebody irrelevant.
We're beating the Eagles twice. I don't think so.
We're sweeping the Giants. That's
we're sweeping the Giants.
We're gonna sweep the Giants.
We will sweep the Cowboys. I'll say it. We're sweeping the Cowboys. Bieniemy Robinson might run for 200 against us. Don't discount the Falcons. I think that's the only person that has any chance of killing us. Him, and some reason, Cordell Patterson kills us every time we play.
Cordell Patterson be cooking. I don't know why I have no worry about Drake London when we play them because he's a big.
I don't know. Oh, dude, Drake's big self against Forbes though. Lord,
yeah.
That's gonna be a handful.
Fuller and St. Juice could go ahead and box him in. Yeah, go let Forbes guard their number 2. Oh, him versus Mac Hollins is scary too. Mac Hollins buff as hell now.
Built like a linebacker. DC needs to be representing the World Cup. The ownership group needs to get it done. I'm just saying, like, so many good things are gonna be coming towards not even just the stadium, but the team with the new ownership. I mean, the Verizon thing was just the first thing of it. Do you think Josh Harris will be sitting in the stands week 1? I don't think he'll be in the stands. He's for sure going to be in the suites, but he's going to be getting attacked by a lot of fans.
That owner's suite going to be star-studded. I imagine the best of Washington fan base will be up in that.
Even the suites at training camp up there where we was at, we had Kevin Durant.
Getty was sitting in there with
Of course, as soon as we go up there, he leaves.
Yeah.
Or right before we get up there, like, really?
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of alumni and all these people up there. So I mean, I can't even imagine what's going to look like. But he's something similar to what Dr. Buss did with the Great Western.
Smash that like button in the chat, by the way. Smash that like button if you're not subbed to Josh Taylor, JTFB. Sub the guy because the boy is building momentum and he is grinding out here, man.
This whole team is going nuts right now. Yeah, I'm telling you, we were taking over. Did you see the chat in the Ravens broadcast today?
Bro, HTTCs everywhere?
Everywhere. Dude, they were putting people in like a timeout so they couldn't comment because they just kept saying the same thing over and over, HTTC. Everyone's like, what does that even mean? Like the Ravens fans, like, bro, every time I was looking at it, just the entire feed, I'm like, dude, we're taking over practice and their YouTube channel. That's rough.
It's a good
That's
time.
A different level.
I watched after the sale went official and Harris became the owner. I pay very close attention to YouTube analytics. The team's YouTube count went from 81,000 subscribers to 117,000 subscribers almost immediately. It was insane, bro. It is the best time to be a Washington fan, for real.
I would love this. If you remember that touchdown Deron Payne had against Clemson.
Yes.
Yo, if you feed him a little goal line fade or something, I will lose it. I'll get a Washington tattoo if they let Deron Payne do an offensive touchdown this season.
Hey, he did tell EB when EB came here. He said, EB, you got something for me? He said, I can. He said, oh, can you tote it? He said, can you tote it?
Yeah, our leg is gonna get popped out of the goal line. Trayvon Diggs is gonna run it all the way back.
We're gonna run the Madden fullback dive to Deron Payne.
Hell.
I'm not tackling Deron Payne, bro. You don't pay me
enough money. Especially at the 1 yard line. I'm not sticking my nose in there.
Who's sticking their nose in there, man?
Heck no. All right, we'll wrap it up by saying this. It's almost been an hour. We could talk all night. Just a
101 in the chat. 101 in the chat.
Just a quick. What's your expectations for the Ravens game? Like I said, we'll both be there. I pray we get a whole half. What do you think? Time-wise, and then what do you think score-wise? Maybe some stats. We threw out some crazy predictions last game. Who did I say was going to have it? I said Quan Martin's going to have a pick. It was Percy Butler instead. So give me a hot take and some kind of prediction, whether it's playing time, whether it's stats. What you think?
Starting offense scores 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
A rushing touchdown to Antonio Gibson
and a Sam Howell touchdown to Terry. And but the defense gives up 2 touchdowns also. So I think it's going to look like a shootout in the first half. I think even without Lamar playing, like, is that even official? Is Lamar not playing Monday?
Oh, I highly doubt he is.
Okay, so I think
it's probably gonna be Anthony's gonna start probably.
Oh,
and
Anthony
then
Johnson. Okay.
Yeah, probably him, and then it's gonna be Josh Johnson the second half, I guess, because I don't think Snoop Huntley's playing or
So
Tyler Huntley.
Both teams scored 2 touchdowns in the first half. That's my bold prediction for the game.
I think Jahan gets another one.
Ooh.
After what I seen him do to that middle of that field in practice today, dude, Jahan, I'm telling you, man,
dirty.
This is gonna get a lot of hate, but I think his ceiling is higher than Terry's, and Terry's is damn high.
He's a first round top 20 pick. Our expectation and the bar we set for him has to be higher than Terry, because Terry was a 3rd round pick that we hit the lottery on.
That's something that
Dotson is supposed to be better than Terry, and that is a great problem to have, and that's how our fans should be viewing it.
Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, those are the guys we were drooling over.
Yep.
And I mean, Garrett Wilson looks damn good. Chris Olave looks good.
Oh, they
I'm
all
telling you, man. Jahan, I would love to see a Cole Turner touchdown, Will.
Like, bro, they're good.
Oh yeah, dude. That draft class
dirty.
Is wild.
And Treylon Burks is looking better. Like,
yeah. I think that he gets another one. I think we have another interception. Dude, I think we have 2 picks, especially with those quarterbacks playing.
Oh yeah, if it's not Lamar, we better.
They got some good backup wide receivers, but I'm gonna say, I think Forbes gets a pick.
Oh my God, we're gonna go crazy at FedEx if Forbes get a pick.
Forbes gets you're gonna see me run across the field.
Oh my!
I'm gonna get banned before week 1.
I need to see that praying mantis looking bastard catch an interception, bro. I gotta see it. I gotta see it in person.
I'm itching.
He's getting one week 1 when Clayton Tune comes to town, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Clayton Tune. Yeah, he's
bro. We're gonna dog the Cardinals week 1. We're gonna dog them, bro. Well, I'm talking reckless. I know I'm talking reckless right now.
Hog Farmer Chris said there's almost 800 people sign up for their tailgate.
Bro, Red Zone's gonna be jumping week 1.
Bro, I'm getting there like 6 days. I might sleep there Saturday night.
Oh no, we might
hop off the jet and get ready.
Sleep in at the stadium.
We just sleep in my car, bro. It's gonna be wild. Getting in there is gonna be absolute hell. It already is. But I think we win. I think we end the streak, man. I think Forbes gets a pick. I think Jahan scores again, man. I'm excited for it. To a lot of people, including Ravens fans, the streak doesn't mean anything, but for me, it shows improvement. I just want to see this team play well, man.
They're just too cool to admit it.
I agree. All burgundy or all whites at home. We did the all burgundies against Cleveland. Probably going to do the all whites, probably, right?
Yeah, they're very generic.
Especially the Ravens having the black and the purple.
They're very generic, so they'll probably give you the all whites now. They're not gonna mix the combinations. They save those for the regular seasons, the burgundy on white, the white on burgundy, and all that. We'll see though. They wore white and burgundy versus Kansas City last year in preseason.
We'll probably see the black ones like week 12.
Yeah. Now we're gonna see them. We have. It has to be a blackout when the Bears come on Thursday night football.
Oh yeah,
that has to be. We're gonna see our black jerseys on night for the first time in prime time.
Dude, I would love that. The primetime games is when you need to pull this out, like the color rushes.
Joey, I said Joey, blackout game when the Bears come to town, October 5th. Book it Thursday night.
Oh yeah, especially October, cold night, man. Dude, I can't wait to be back at FedEx, dude. I don't care if it's preseason. Monday's gonna feel so good walking through there. But all right, guys, Rio, let them know where they can find you at, man. I'm sure they already know. They probably already follow you if they follow me, but let them know.
Yes, sir. Rio Robinson on YouTube, rambling with Rio, rambling about Washington. Rio_Robinson91 on social media. Y'all know the vibrations. Me and Josh are curating these Commanders vibes all off season as we're in our most impactful time of being fans of this franchise, bruh.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, add a little extra sugar